Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Oman and US organize first strategic dialogue. Oman Air launches special fares for World Cup travelers from GCC. Salalah port receives Viking Mars cruise ship with more than 1,000 passengers on board. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg confirms laying off employees today, according to reports. Earthquake strikes with epicenter in Nepal, tremors felt across Delhi. UN mission warns of worsening food crisis in Sri Lanka. FINA suspends Italian Swimming Federation president for 2 years. Shahi now holds the key, Ricky Ponting names key player that can lead Pakistan to T20 World Cup glory. Those are the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The Sultanate of Oman and the United States of America announced the organization of the first strategic dialogue work. The Sultanate of Oman and the United States of America announced the organization of the first strategic dialogue, which includes 3 working groups focusing on education, cultural exchange, trade, investment, and renewable energy. These groups intend to hold their meetings regularly and produce tangible results to achieve common goals, Oman News Agency said in a statement. During their meetings in Washington, His Excellency Saeed Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, and his American counterpart affirmed the growing historical and strategic partnership between the Sultanate of Oman and the United States on regional security. His Excellency Antony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, expresses his country's thanks to Oman for the important role it has played in securing the armistice in Yemen over the past months and for its unwavering support in humanitarian issues, including its role in securing the freedom of American citizen Bakr Namazi. His Excellency, the Foreign Minister, and his American counterpart stressed that the free trade agreement between the Sultanate of Oman and the United States of America 2009 is a basis for expanding trade opportunities. Getting the ball rolling, the football season, Oman Air, the national airline of the Sultanate of Oman, is offering special GCC fares to Muscat for those planning on heading to the World Cup. All GCC nationals and residents can purchase the specially priced tickets at just Omani Riyal 149 for economy class and Omani Riyal 309 for business class, with Oman Air also providing easy onboard connections to the games available separately. Whether a convenient stopover or an extended getaway in Muscat, is the perfect excuse to experience Oman's breathtaking natural beauty and signature warm hospitality. Football fans opting to fly via Muscat can head to the match on one of Oman Air's daily matchday shuttle flights at just Omani Riyal 49 return. Operating between Muscat and Doha from 21st November to 3rd December 2022, the service is designed to seamlessly connect fans to their respective matches just an hour's flight away. A no check-in baggage policy also allows guests to plan an easy-in, easy-out travel itinerary. Guests booking a fare must hold a valid hire card and a match ticket. Other terms and conditions and pre-departure requirements apply, which are provided at www.omanair.com. Salalah port received the Norwegian cruise ship Viking Mars with 1,332 passengers on board, including 881 tourists, as part of its tourism program in a number of ports around the world. The tourist program for the passengers of the cruise ship coming from the Jordanian port of Aqaba and heading to the port of Sultan Qaboos in Muscat included tours that included the most important archaeological and historical monuments for which the Dhofar Governorate is famous, in addition to visiting the beaches and markets in Salalah. Abdullah bin Omar Al Sabah, Assistant Director of the Promotion Department as the Directorate General of Heritage and Tourism in the Governorate of Dhofar, said that the movement of cruise ships is an attraction factor in the growth of the winter tourist season by stopping at the port of Salalah and tourists roaming around the Governorate, which provides an added economic value to the Sultanate in general and the Governorate of Dhofar in particular. It is expected that the current season will witness growth and prosperity as a result of the intensification of the promotional efforts made by the ministry in partnership with all relevant authorities, tourism companies and shipping agents, Al Sabah added. Ahmad bin Abdullah bin Shamas, head of the Tourism Patents and Markets Department at the Directorate General of Heritage and Tourism in the Governorate of Dhofar, stated that the ministry, in cooperation with the tourism partners, succeeded in attracting more European tour group trips as part of its continuing efforts to promote the Governorate of Dhofar throughout the year. The Governorate has all the ingredients and elements of tourist attractions that enable it to become the preferred tourist destination for many visitors from different countries of the world. Those were a few of the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket, now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update, now for the international stories. Meta Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg spoke to hundreds of executives on Tuesday local time and confirmed about laying off employees on Wednesday morning. Zuckerberg appeared downcast on Tuesday's meeting and said he was accountable for the company's missteps. His over-optimism about growth had led to overstaffing, according to people present in the meeting, reported sources. The company is expected to cut thousands of employees beginning Wednesday, and this will likely be the largest of the year to date in the tech sector. Employees who are to be laid off will receive at least 4 months of salary, sources reported. According to the report, Zuckerberg mentioned recruiting and business teams as among those facing layoffs. Meta's head of human resources, Lori Goller, told the group that employees who lose their jobs will be provided with at least 4 months of salary as severance, according to people familiar with the meeting. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, reported more than 87,000 employees at the end of September. The company is aggressively hired through the COVID-19 pandemic. The planned layoffs would be the first broad headcount reductions in the company's 18-year history. Meanwhile, Meta stock has fallen more than 70% this year. The company has highlighted deteriorating macroeconomic trends, but investors have also been spooked by its spending and threats to the company's core social media business. Earthquake tremors were felt in the national capital in the early hours of Wednesday in Nepal. The tremors were felt at around 1:57 a.m. The epicenter was in Nepal. An earthquake of magnitude 6.3 on the Richter scale was felt, whose epicenter, according to National Center for Seismology, was in Nepal. In Kathmandu, at least 3 people are reported dead in the Doti district of far west Nepal after a magnitude 6.6 earthquake hit the area in the early hours of Wednesday. The far west region of Nepal in the past 24 hours recorded 3 tremors, 2 earthquakes and 1 aftershock, the National Seismological Center of Nepal stated. As per the data from NSC, the first quake of 5.7 magnitude was recorded at 9:07 p.m. local time on Tuesday, followed by another at 9:56 p.m. local time measuring 4.1 magnitude. The third strong jolt measuring 6.6 magnitude, which struck at around 2:12 a.m. local time on Wednesday, resulted in loss of 3 lives after a house collapse. The deaths were reported from Gairagaon. Ram Prasad Upadhyay, chairman of Purbi Chowki Village Council 3 of Doti district, said. The tremors were also felt in India's capital New Delhi and its surrounding areas. The recent earthquakes in Nepal have caused unprecedented damage to lives and property and have necessitated the demand for well-framed policy measures to manage such disasters. Nepal suffered its worst recorded earthquake in 1934. It was measured at 8.0 and destroyed the cities of Kathmandu, Bhaktapur and Patan. It has been established that the Indian plate is getting subducted under the Eurasian plate at 5 cm a year. This is responsible for the formation and increasing height of young fold mountains of the Himalayas and also makes the region prone to earthquakes. Disasters like quakes can wreak havoc if preparedness is not ample. The United Nations team in Sri Lanka and non-governmental organizations on Tuesday revised and extended their Joint Humanitarian Needs and Priorities or HNP plan, which aims to provide life-saving assistance to 3.4 million people amid Sri Lanka's worst economic crisis since independence. Since June, the HNP has been responding to the government's request for UN-backed multi-sector support for Sri Lanka's debt and food and medicine shortages. Governments and donor agencies have helped the humanitarian community reach over 1 million of the country's most vulnerable people with cash, food, school meals, medicine, protection and livelihood support, the UN mission in Sri Lanka said in a statement. The HNP, aligned with appeals from other UN agencies, has raised $79 million for Sri Lanka thanks to landmark support from several countries and agencies. The HNP's revision extends the plan through 2022 and requires $70 million in additional funds to reach a total of $149.7 million. We are immensely appreciative of the solidarity the international community has shown with the people of Sri Lanka, including through their generous contributions to the HNP. This solidarity must be sustained if we are to insulate the most at-risk people from the impacts of the ongoing crisis, said UN Resident Coordinator in Sri Lanka, Hana Singarhamdi. In response to the humanitarian committee's updated estimates on the number of people in need across all 25 of Sri Lanka's districts, the extended appeal will improve nutrition for children, pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, secure safe drinking water and protect vulnerable farming and fishing households. Ms. Inger Hamdi stressed the importance of strengthening local food production and delivery. The revised HNP complements existing emergency operations carried out by the UN and humanitarian partners. Among its targets are immediate food assistance for 2.4 million vulnerable and food insecure people, provision of support and fertilizers for 1.5 million farmers and fishers to revive food systems that have been severely disrupted. The appeal also seeks to provide nutrition support for 2.1 million people, including pregnant women and school children, safe drinking water for over 900,000 people, and essential medicines and healthcare, including reproductive healthcare for 867,000 people. Those were the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports news. The ethics panel of the International Swimming Federation of FINA announced Tuesday to suspend Paolo Barilli, president of the Italian Swimming Federation, for 2 years. After having imposed a provisional suspension, the ethics panel found multiple rule violations of Barilli as a result of the investigation of wrongdoing from the former FINA bureau member and former LEN president, Swimming Global governing body said. The appeal chamber of the Italian Court of Audit also found the expenses of almost €500,000 from the Italian Olympic Committee on behalf of FIN caused pecuniary damages. Following hearings and extensive consideration of the allegations, the FINA ethics panel unanimously decided to impose sanctions that ban Mr. Barilli from taking part in any aquatic-related activities under the auspices of FINA or its members. Mr. Barilli has been banned for a period of 2 years starting from September 14, 2022, the date of the provisional suspension previously imposed, the release stated. The Australian legend Ricky Ponting has declared pacer Shaheen Afridi as the player that must fire if Pakistan is to clinch a second ICC Men's T20 World Cup crown in Australia. Afridi produced his best performance in the tournament so far with the ball when he finished with a figure of 422 against Bangladesh on Sunday, and that spell helped Pakistan earn the final spot in the semi-finals of the tournament. Pakistan will meet informed New Zealand awaiting them at the Sydney Cricket Ground on Wednesday, and the Australia great Ponting said Afridi is the key player in that event. He might say that he's not back to 100% just yet, but from what I've seen, it looks like he's going along beautifully, and he now holds the key for Pakistan progressing in the tournament, ICC quoted Ponting as saying. Afridi's wicketless performance in Pakistan's first 2 T20 World Cup matches against India and Zimbabwe may have cast some doubt on his ability to quickly recover, but Ponting always had faith in the left-handed pacer's abilities. Ponting said Afridi's resurgence was similar to how Indian superstar Virat Kohli had suddenly found his form in Australia, and said that sometimes you simply have to have faith in the best players to deliver on the biggest stages. And those were the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.